stars come to shine when it's dark from
What is up, you guys? Today we are going to do a pretty quick and easy DIY that can totally transform a room. I decided to do this in my beauty room after going to a pretty swanky bar in Toronto and seeing this concept done. And I thought, I think I can do this myself with some peel and stick wallpaper that I can get off of Amazon. I got this awesome banana leaf wallpaper with all these palm leaves on it that I figured would brighten up the room a little bit. So whenever I am filming in this room, I do feel like it's quite dark. So I felt like this would be a great way to lighten it up that could also be pretty simple. Now, I just want to say you can be way more professional than I was with this and not do it with margarita and popcorn. But I just used scissors and I cut the squares, rectangles of the shapes of the shelves that I had. Nothing super complicated. I will forewarn you, if you're doing a full wall, this might be more complicated, but it was pretty easy and everything stuck really well. The one tip that I will give you, and you're gonna see me using this, is there is a wallpaper tool that you can buy as well. You can see me using it here. What it does is it gets all the air bubbles out and makes sure that everything is flat up against the wall. So I will show you here how I did this. You measure everything just with a tape measure, cut it all out. You can just use scissors or you can get all fancy. And then you're gonna peel off one end and then you slowly peel away the rest. As you're doing that, you flatten it with that, let's call it a spatula tool. And that takes away all the air bubbles and makes sure that everything is flat up against the wall. The cool part in this is, let's say I wanted to change this up, I could literally just peel it off the wall. It doesn't damage the wall, it doesn't do anything. But what it does is completely transform the room in like the coolest way ever. So I really love doing this. It was honestly really easy. And like I said, I could probably have done it in a much more professional way and actually measured things out properly and taken my time. But because they were each just in little shelves and nooks and crannies and not really big surface areas, it was pretty simple and pretty easy, and honestly really, really fast to be able to completely change up a room. So at first I wasn't gonna do every single backdrop in the shelves, I was gonna do every other, but I thought to actually brighten up the room, it would be perfect to do every single square. And then I kind of went crazy and started doing the sides, the shelves also on the backdrop. So you can see here, I just kind of matched up the wallpaper as best I could to the side portion and then to the backdrop. And like I said, I just peeled it off either in one swoop, or if it was a really long piece, I started with one corner and just slowly used that spatula tool to smooth it over each part of the surface and just smooth out all of those air bubbles. So I will link this flattening tool, whatever it's called, in the comments down below, as well as the wallpaper that I used. So for this entire room, I think I used about 3 rolls of wallpaper. It's really hard to gauge, but 3 was enough. And I actually had a little bit extra, which I will show you guys what I did with it. And it's kind of a cool idea. If you just have extra wallpaper laying around, you got to stay through to the end. I'll vlog and show you guys the entire room, but how I did this. But it's a really cool way to also zhuzh up a room if you have some extra leftovers of wallpaper. So next thing, I decided to go through and organize all of my makeup. So I have these utensil trays that I got at Home Goods. And what I did is I cleaned out my makeup. I did a pile for donations, I did a pile for toss, I did a pile for keep, I did a pile to give to my good friends of like the really good stuff, and I cleaned up everything. And there was so many items that just needed to be out of the room. The other thing I did was cleaned the surface area where I actually get ready, and to do that I just use makeup remover. That's the best tip I can give you, by the way. Instead of an actual cleaner, use a micellar water or a makeup remover. For me, what I find gets gathered up a lot is eyelash glue, like extra eyelash glue. So to use a makeup remover works really, really well. The other thing I did was I got all of my extra eyelashes, speaking of eyelash glue, just organized and together in one drawer. And I tried to organize by category. So each of the drawers have a category, and then the top drawer that is to my left whenever I'm getting ready are my go-tos. So this gives you a good idea of my go-tos and the things that I love to use every day. So in there I have a brow pencil, an eyeliner, a bronzer, just my everydays, and then my extras in the perimeter of the room, which I do realize, by the way, is absolutely ridiculous, but I just want to show you how I organize everything. So in this area, I decided to put all of my skincare that aren't necessarily my go-tos, but not necessarily my everydays, but stuff that I would, you know, grab if I want to use. And again, I cleared out of a lot of stuff that I wasn't using. So I did all my serums, moisturizers, and then in the bottom drawer, I did all of my face masks. This little unit I've had for a long time, and I actually got this idea years ago off of Pinterest. So these are little clear beads and then a couple of rhinestones, and I put my brushes in there. My Mickey and Minnie little statues are everything and more. Dusted those off and put them in a new location, front and center. I love these. If I can link these, listen, they're not cheap. They're like a collector's item, but if I can link them and if I can find them, I will share it down below as well. So I dusted everything off before putting in all of the wallpaper, and I just kept going with the wallpaper. I didn't stop. Once I started, it was so therapeutic that I wanted it to be on every surface of the room. And you know what I'm really excited about? Whenever I get sick of this, I could like switch it to, I don't know, a textured wallpaper or a glitter wallpaper. I feel like now the possibilities are endless, but I really love that it can completely change the vibe of the room and the look and just brighten it up also, which is awesome. So you can see here how cool that really looks. And again, I didn't cut these perfectly, but because they're all in just a smaller surface area, you can't tell at all. So this is the overall vibe. I love it. Carl was a part of the organization. You guys can see how much makeup I have all over the place. And I actually kind of covered the entrance of the door, which I didn't realize. And Carl was like an Olympic athlete and jumped over it all, so you are welcome for that. So then I organized all of my face products, I organized all of my powders and bronzers, and then I organized all of my blushes and highlighters. So this is what I meant by each drawer had its own situation, and then all of my lip products, which I cut that down by almost half. This is my eyebrow stuff and eyeliners. And then in the bottom drawer, I had all my tools. And then I just had to organize any palettes that I had left that I hadn't tossed into this acrylic divider, and that's what's right next to me whenever I'm getting ready. So I tried to put my favorite ones. And then I had these mini palettes, which I love. Those are also right next to me to my left whenever I'm getting ready. So I tried to have an arm's length of my favorite pieces of makeup. And any extras just went in the drawers. I organized that. One thing that I figured would be really cool to have right next to me on the desk was some makeup remover. So I put a Tula makeup remover, filled it with water, and put in one of these little pumps. So whenever I'm getting ready, I can have that right in front of me. And then I lined the drawers with some wallpaper. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay tuned, I'm gonna vlog a little bit. Okay, so I'm obsessed with this room now. I'm just gonna be so transparent as per usual. I didn't love filming in this room. I mean, it works in the fall because it's so dark, but it was just so dark. And I said to Andre, I want to lighten it up somehow. So we had done the shiplap, the white here. So that was one transformation, but I still found that it was too dark. So I don't know if you guys will remember this, back in February for Andre and I's 10-year wedding anniversary, we went to a hotel in Toronto. I had my fancy shoes on, we were at this bar, and they had these like type of shelves, and they put a wallpaper just like this at the back. And I literally did stories, and I was like, oh, I think I wanna do that. So here's what I found out. You can order really good peel and stick wallpaper. Don't do real wallpaper because I don't even think I would take that on, but peel and stick, no problemo, especially in like a small setting like this. Listen, my lines aren't straight, but you can't even tell. And look at how much it lightened it up. I am in love with this. I overshot a little bit on the wallpaper, so it's fine. So what I did is I actually lined some of the drawers with the wallpaper, just to make them like extra clean and pretty. I mean, you could just do that if you feel like doing it too. But I'm so happy with this room. I love it. I feel like the neon sign, I mean, I just want to say that I had a neon sign before. It was cool to have a neon sign. Now everybody has a neon sign, but it's fine because it's a part of it. It's like a part of our vibe. I love the neon with the petals, the leaves. Oh, it's so good. If you guys loved this, I needed to organize. I have purged so much. I've donated so much. I have found that there's certain brands that will mold. There are certain beauty brands that I will no longer purchase. If you guys want me to talk about that in another video, we can. Because I'm just saying, we have stories. So a lot of stuff got tossed, donated, gifted. It was fun. It was so good. This was amazing. I loved this. This was probably my favorite transformation in the house out of all the deep cleans because it just felt so dang good. And now I feel happy to film in here again. It's not that I didn't want to, it's just that I knew it could be better. So if you guys loved this, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. Following on Instagram too, because I like don't stop over there. Like I'm behind the scenes every single day over there. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye dudes.
How come the stars